Hello everyone, thank you for joining me. My name is Nick, and if you can remember back about a week ago, we did a review of a PC remake called Attic Attack. This time we're looking at Manic Miner, this one published by Andy Noble in 2004. He designed it for Windows or Mac, and it stays quite faithful to the original by Bugbyte in 1983. Basically, Miner Willie must go through 20 caverns, collecting objects over single screens, and then it just loops right round again. So we'll see how this one plays, and hopefully it's okay. The music in this is quite good. Oh, look at that. The music in this is well, it's excellent really, by Matt Simmons. Give him a shout out there. Now, it plays the same graphically as the Spectrum version, but it's 256 colours. Yeah, I'm doing quite well here. Let's click that key. Right, people that have been familiar with the ZX Spectrum version will see that this is playing quite a bit quicker than the original. But Andy has included speed mode, so if you put it back onto, I think, slow mode, it moves more of the speed that the Spectrum version did. Your air's running out down the bottom there. We must complete it before the air's completely gone. Now, as I say, I'll keep it on this mode slightly quicker because I played this a lot as a kid on the ZX Spectrum, so we'll have a bit more of a challenge rather than me just zipping all the way through. So we'll keep it on this speed, but just to confirm, there is a slow mode. The music is brilliant, as I say, but there is an option as well included to come back the original music. It's not quite the original music, but it's a rendition version of it, and it's quite nice to listen to. Right, so we've done 2 levels, the Menagerie. Colours stay, very faithful to the original. What I like about this one so far is the timings and the spacing between each ledges are, well, they're perfect. Exactly the same. So this is pretty much what you'd expect if the Manic Miner was released back in the day with 256 colours rather than the just 8 they had to work there. Great. Now, I think Eugene's Lair is when it starts getting difficult, the stage after this, and on this quicker speed, it's going to be a little bit more difficult to do. Now, we've reviewed Manic Miner quite a bit, twice on the ZX Spectrum, once in the Revisited series when I had a better sound in terms of the microphone. We've done a Game Boy Advance, oh dear, we've done a Game Boy Advance version of it, the Commodore 64, and now this PC remake. And I'm really enjoying this. It's brilliant. So Andy Noble has done a wonderful job here. Stayed really faithful to the original. As I say, at the moment, it plays exactly the same. I've said it a couple of times, but don't be worried about the speed, because you can change that if you want to. Dear, dear, dear. Listen to this music, man. Really cute game. Now I do, oh dear, I'm going to have to concentrate here because this is when it gets tricky. This is the first, I would say, of the tricky levels of Manic Miner, and at this increased speed, it's going to be a bit tricky, even trickier than normal. Oops, dearie me, yes. There's Eugene there going up and down. Now, as I was saying, Andy has done a version of, that's about right, about Jet Set, oh, Nicky. Right, I'll third go at that. Andy has done a version of Jet Set Willie, I believe, so we'll have to come to that at some point. Also, hopefully it's as good as this. There's the yellow robot there going backward and forward. He never had a name. On the ZX Spectrum, there's a homebrew called Robot's Day Out where you actually control him. Have a look at that on the channel if you've got a bit of time. What are you thinking of this so far? Is it the best version of Manic Miner you've ever seen? Or are there other versions as well? Let me know. But I think this is pretty awesome. Attic Attack was awesome last time, so 2 good remakes. There's a few other remakes as well. You can get hold of this on the Retrospec website. So I'm not sure if Andy runs or not, but it was on there. Certainly in the intro, first of all, when this game loads up. There's other remakes as well. P3S's and a tail. I couldn't get that to work on my computer for some reason, which is a bit of a shame. I think it's because it was so old. I think 2000 or something like that. Someone might have a way of getting that to work. There's Nightlaw as well, which I haven't tried, and Sabre Wolf, so we might have a look at a few others to see what these other remakes are like. The Cold Room. Now, I just want to, in this review, get past Eugene's Lair. But I've already lost a life already quite cheaply. The Menagerie. I used to really struggle on this one first of all as a kid, but as soon as you got the timings, you can rip through really fast. So this is pretty much a speed run at the moment. I'm doing this all from memory, although really it's only the second time I played the game, essentially. Look at the graphics of Miner Willy. This is where he got his fortune and then used it to buy a big mansion in Jet Set Willy. And we all know he had that past. He got a bit out of control and the house was haunted because it was, well, owned by a previous mad scientist or something. And that's when he meets the housekeeper Maria, who won't let him go to sleep until he's tidied up. Why she can't do the work, we will never know. Da 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 da. I don't know too much about Matt Simmons, who done the music. What other games did he do music for? Because if this is any mark of his work, outstanding. 2004, this one. So this is even getting a little bit retro itself. Right, okay, right, here we go. We're up against it now. Eugene, attempt 2. Let's get the timers on this. On the Spectrum version, that toilet on the second level is black. Oh, well done, Nick. They're both white in this one for reasons unknown. Right, you can get it to go quicker than this. There is a fast mode. So if you've completed the game really easily, go it on fast mode. If you're unfamiliar with this game, once we get the last object, you see a flashing one there and flashing one on the other side. Ow! Yes. When you get the last object, Eugene will come departing down the screen onto that square below, which we need to get because that's the exit. If he lands on there before you, there's no way of completing the stage. That don't look right. Oh, it is. Right, good. This is my last life to do it. Come on, Nick. Come on. Now, on slow mode, I'd probably get as far as Wacky Amoebatrons. Maybe the bank on a very, very good run. I never actually completed it all the way through. There was a cheat, though. Oh, Nicky. There was a cheat, though. You could jump to any stage, and I did do pretty much all of them. I think the solar generator and the landing bay I was no good at. So we'll have one last go at this, see if I can get any better, past Eugene. And then we'll leave it on demo mode and it will show you all 20 caverns, which is good. And that was good about this game and this remake. If you never got to the other levels, it's not a question you'd never ever see them, because the demo mode will show you all of them. I think Jet Set Willy does that to a certain bit, but Jet Set Willy, of course, it's not screen based. You can just leave the screen whenever because it's divided into rooms. Out of the two, I probably prefer Manic Miner. That said, the original and best. Many different versions of Manic Miner by homebrewers. At the moment, I've only really covered Robots Day Out. Yeah, good. The music isn't as repetitive as the Spectrum version, but they can only fit a certain amount of a chip tune on. The blibber. Oh, that's close. Right, let's not lose lives this time. Let's at least get as far as the vat. Oh dear, there we go. That's how you're supposed to do it. Ooh, boom. Right, third time in the menagerie. Hasn't caused us any problems so far, and it's not going to cause any problems this time. More shading on this, 256 colours. All the other Manic Miner versions, the Spectrum, the Commodore 64, Manic Miner is just a white block, no details there at all. This time he looks a little bit more human. It's a very dangerous mine, this one. What is your favourite version of Manic Miner? As I say, I grew up with the ZX Spectrum version, so I'm always going to love that, the 48K. I think there's a black and white version, maybe a 16K version I've never played. I might be getting that wrong. The Game Boy Advance version gave you extra screens and the original. Times of that were quite faithful as well. But as I say, Spectrum my favourite version. Commodore 64 seemed a little bit too fast for me, but I'm really loving this PC remake. So if you get an opportunity, get to the Retrospect site, it is free, and have a download of this. Have a look at Andy Noble's work. 2004 this one, not sure what he's done recently, but this is fantastic. Done with love and care, a splendido job. Original Manic Miner, 1983 Bugbyte, so quite some time ago. And then this one, well, almost 20 years afterwards. Right, we can beat Eugene this time. Let's not fall on those bushes. Right, let's jump. Yay. Right, okay, don't muck up, Nick. Don't fall. Oh, no, right, this is going to be tricky. Yeah, yes, right, okay, good. Right, last one, we need to time this. So we need to get Eugene up as high as possible, or at least think we've got enough time before he comes down. Here he comes. Oh, that was a bit too close. But it's done. Right, the processing plant. Influenced by Pac-Man, this one. You see on the conveyor belt on the bottom left, there's a bush. On some versions, it's actually a ghost there to fit with the Pac-Man theme. The version I had on the Spectrum, it was just a bush. I think the Commodore 64 version does have a ghost, the version I played, but this one's back to the original bush. Right, let's time this. See you later, Pac-Man. Bom 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 bom. You get an extra life once you get past 10,000. So a little way off there. And the more air you have left over at the end, so don't hang around, the more points you get, because that'll run down as a bonus. See the flashing box there in the top right? That's what we need to aim for each time once we've got all the objects. But you know this already, surely, being a Manic Miner fan. The VAT! Brilliant. Just like Attic Attack, the one I really liked last week at time of recording, what they've seemed to have done is they haven't tried to invent the wheel here. They've used the original game, the format of that, and just put lovely layers over the top. And that's what I really like. That's what's made it special. So it captures your nostalgia, your feel of the original game, and then gives you a bit of an extra experience. Awesome! Kangaroos move the same as well. Kangaroos in the vat down the mine. It all makes perfect sense. Oops. Oh yeah, see, that was Miner Willy meets the Kong Beast. It was that point when maybe it was a bit too quick, unless you jump immediately, where you have to get it on normal mode. So I wasn't really up to the case there, but at least we got past Eugene's lair. The Blue Danube. La 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 la. Right, we'll leave this for a bit so it goes into demo mode. And then hopefully it will show you all 20 caverns, which I think it does. So, Manic Miner. Oh, look at that. That's good. That's a nice touch putting that in. Bugbyte 1983, which is on the original by Matthew Smith. Not the Matthew Smith that went on to play Doctor Who. This is a different Matthew Smith. There's the keys there. I was controlling this on keys rather than the joystick. O and P left and right I did, and then bottom row to jump. Guide Miner Willy through 20 lethal caverns. When I first played this game back in the early 80s, little did I know over 30 years later that I'd actually be reviewing a remake of it. So there we go, retro is strong. Right, Central Cavern, number 1, we did that one. The Cold Room, we pretty much did that a few times. The Menagerie, that caused no problems for us. The Abandoned Uranium Workings, it's all about learning which ledge to jump on. Eugene's lair gave us a little bit of difficulty, but we beat him. The processing plant, no problemo. The vat with the kangaroos, easy peasy. Yeah, struggled there. Miner Willy meets the Kong Beast, you can make him fall down if you could. Wacky Amoebatrons, quite often we get to that stage on the spectrum. The Endorian Forest, Endor is Star Wars. Attack of the Mutant Telephones, that's quite a tricky level, but done it a few times. Return of the Alien Kong Beast, he gets his own back. The Oil Refinery, that's easier than it looks, that stage. Now this was very tricky. Skylab Landing Bay. The Bank. Da da da. The 16th Cavern, this is the 16th screen I believe. The Warehouse, I never could do this stage, even with the cheat jump into it. Amoebatron's Revenge, pretty much the same as Wacky Amoebatrons. Solar Powered Generator, another pretty tricky one. And then the final barrier, and when you complete it, you don't get game over, it just loops round to the start again. Well, I hope you liked having a look at that one. That was Manic Miner, a remake on the PC, published by Andy Noble in 2004. A brilliant, brilliant conversion. Original by Bugbyte in 1983. Got any comments about this game, the original, or anything retro, then please put your thoughts below. Nice hearing from you. If you'd like to subscribe to the channel, that really helps it a great deal, helps it push forward. And yeah, if you want to help it a little bit more, there's patreon.com/njenkin. Every little bit helps, and for that I'm truly grateful. Until next time, take great care of yourself and a very fond goodbye.
Goodbye.